What if the most powerful way to lead was not through force or dominance, but by stepping back and letting things unfold naturally? What if the best way to live wasn't about climbing to the top, but about letting go of the desire to control? In a world that's obsessed with power, status, and hierarchy, these questions may seem radical. But over 2,000 years ago, an ancient Chinese text suggested just that. The Tao Te Ching, written by the philosopher Lao Tzu, proposes a philosophy that flips traditional ideas of power and leadership on their head, advocating for simplicity, humility, and the rejection of rigid hierarchies. In a society where authority is often associated with control, dominance, and strict order, Lao Tzu's teachings stand as a profound counterpoint. The Tao Te Ching presents a path that embraces fluidity, letting go of control, and finding harmony with the natural world. But how can this ancient philosophy still be relevant in our modern world? And what exactly does it mean to reject hierarchy, especially in a world that thrives on it? This essay will explore how the Tao Te Ching offers a vision of life and leadership that is radically different from the hierarchical systems we know today, and how these teachings can offer a refreshing perspective on power and social structure in the 21st century. Welcome to The Unfolding Journey, a channel where we explore the timeless wisdom of ancient texts and philosophical traditions and uncover their relevance to our modern lives. Whether it's the wisdom of the Tao Te Ching, the strategies of Machiavelli, or the teachings of the great philosophers, we take deep dives into the ideas that have shaped humanity and continue to influence our world today. If you're someone who's interested in personal growth, philosophy, or simply learning how ancient wisdom can inform our present, make sure to hit that subscribe button. You won't want to miss out on any of the thought-provoking content we have in store. Now, let's dive into the profound world of Lao Tzu and his rejection of hierarchy. The Tao Te Ching is one of the most influential works in Eastern philosophy. Written by Lao Tzu around the 6th century BCE, this text contains 81 short chapters that offer profound insights into how to live a harmonious life, govern with wisdom, and align oneself with the natural flow of the universe. At the heart of the Tao Te Ching is the concept of the Tao, often translated as the Way, which refers to the natural order of the universe. The Tao is not something that can be controlled or fully understood. It is a force that flows through all things, an inherent rhythm of life that exists regardless of human interference. The other key concept in the Tao Te Ching is Te, which refers to the virtuous qualities that arise when one aligns with the Tao. Together, these two concepts form the foundation of Lao Tzu's philosophy. To live in accordance with the Tao and cultivate Te in order to experience peace, balance, and harmony in both personal life and governance. While the Tao Te Ching touches on many aspects of life, one of its most radical ideas is its rejection of hierarchy. In a time and place where kings, emperors, and military leaders were revered, Lao Tzu's philosophy offered an alternative vision, one that encouraged humility, non-competition, and an embrace of simplicity. To understand Lao Tzu's rejection of hierarchy, it's essential to consider the context in which the Tao Te Ching was written. Ancient China, like most societies at the time, was built on a strict hierarchical structure. At the top were the rulers, often seen as divinely ordained, followed by the military, aristocracy, and peasants at the bottom. Power was concentrated in the hands of the few, and the general populace had little say in the way things were governed. Authority was maintained through rigid systems of control, enforced by laws, punishments, and military might. In this context, Lao Tzu's message was deeply subversive. He argued that these hierarchical systems, far from bringing peace and prosperity, often created tension, conflict, and suffering. He believed that the very nature of hierarchy, based on domination and subjugation, went against the natural flow of the universe and created disharmony. Rather than placing rulers at the top of society and enforcing control through force, Lao Tzu suggested that leadership should be about guiding others with wisdom, not domination. A wise leader, according to Lao Tzu, leads by example, fostering an environment where people are free to express their natural inclinations and live in accordance with the Tao. In the Tao Te Ching, Lao Tzu repeatedly emphasizes that the best way to govern is by embracing non-action, or Wu Wei, a term that refers to effortless action or action that is in alignment with the natural flow of things. Leaders who practice Wu Wei do not force their will on others. Instead, they create conditions that allow others to flourish naturally. Lao Tzu writes in chapter 17, "When the master governs, the people are hardly aware that he exists. Next best is a leader who is loved and praised. Next, one who is feared. The worst is one who is despised. Here, Lao Tzu is suggesting that the most effective leadership is not based on control or coercion, but on subtlety and humility. A good leader is not one who exerts power over others, but one who leads by setting an example and letting people govern themselves in harmony with the Tao. In Lao Tzu's view, hierarchy is an artificial construct that disrupts the natural order of things. The imposition of power over others causes strife, division, and dissatisfaction. Rather than adhering to rigid structures, the Tao Te Ching suggests that society and governance should be fluid and flexible, like water, adapting to the needs of the people and the natural environment. Lao Tzu also critiques the tendency to value status, rank, and titles as markers of importance. Instead, he values humility and simplicity. He writes in chapter 66, "The wise man does not exalt himself, does not raise his status. He does not make himself the center of attention. He does not seek to be in charge, and yet, in his quiet way, he leads." This is a direct challenge to the hierarchical mindset that places power and prestige at the top of human values. In Lao Tzu's vision, true power comes from wisdom, not dominance. By rejecting hierarchy, Lao Tzu invites us to rethink how we organize our social and political structures. Despite being written over 2 millennia ago, the Tao Te Ching and its rejection of hierarchy still have significant relevance in today's world. Modern society continues to be deeply entrenched in hierarchical structures, whether in the workplace, in government, or in social interactions. Power dynamics are often defined by one group exerting control over others, whether through force, wealth, or influence. However, in the face of increasing inequality, environmental crises, and political polarization, Lao Tzu's ideas offer a refreshing perspective. His teachings encourage us to rethink the way we approach leadership, governance, and our relationship to power. The idea of a world where people are not divided by rigid social structures, but instead live in harmony and balance with each other and with nature, is a compelling vision for the future. In the workplace, for example, organizations that embrace collaborative, non-hierarchical structures are often more successful in fostering creativity, innovation, and employee satisfaction. The rise of cooperative businesses, worker-owned companies, and flat organizational models reflects a growing desire to move away from traditional hierarchical systems. On a global scale, the rejection of hierarchy can also be seen in movements advocating for social justice, environmental sustainability, and global cooperation. Leaders who emphasize empathy, humility, and cooperation rather than competition and domination are increasingly valued in global politics. Lao Tzu's philosophy challenges us to examine our own lives and societal structures. Are we striving for power, status, and control, or are we seeking peace, harmony, and balance? What would it look like if we, like the Taoist sage, led not through force, but by setting an example and letting things unfold naturally? The Tao Te Ching presents us with a radical vision of leadership and society, one that rejects hierarchy in favor of balance, humility, and wisdom. Lao Tzu's teachings are a call to recognize the natural order of things, to relinquish our desire for control, and to embrace the fluidity of life. In a world still dominated by hierarchical structures, the message of the Tao Te Ching offers a powerful alternative, a way to live and lead in harmony with the world around us, rather than in opposition to it. By embracing the wisdom of Lao Tzu, we might just find a path toward a more peaceful, equitable, and balanced society. If you found this exploration of the Tao Te Ching and its rejection of hierarchy thought-provoking, be sure to subscribe to The Unfolding Journey. We dive into many more philosophical teachings that challenge the conventional wisdom of our time. Join us in exploring how ancient ideas can still shape our modern world. Don't forget to hit that notification bell so you never miss an episode.